So just as gin, there's passion, and just as tonic, there's positivity, and just as the lime, there's hard work.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very, very special episode of the Sustain to Scale series. Today is our season 1 finale, and I couldn't have got anyone more interesting than Vidhi here. So, as you can see, Vidhi has an amazing cocktail in her hand, and she is pretty much the cocktail queen of the country. Vidhi is the founder of the Cocktail Story. And before, of course, we get into understanding what TCS does, I have a very interesting question for Vidhi, which I'm sure all of you do too. Vidhi, you seem to be holding a very, very sumptuous cocktail. So talk to me about what that is and what ingredients go into that.
So this is a very simple gin and tonic, and it's my go-to drink. Super easy to make at home when you're working, chilling, anything, and G&Ts are the best. So yeah, there's gin, there's some wonderful Swami tonic, and yeah, there's a slice of lemon to it.
So Vidhi, you told us what the cocktail is made of. Now talk to us about what are the ingredients that have gone into your journey as an entrepreneur.
So just as gin, there's passion, and just as tonic, there's positivity, and just as the lime, there's hard work.
The concept of the cocktail story and the particular market that you function in is truly unique. So would love to know a little bit about your journey and what TCS is doing.
The cocktail story started as a blog, and at that point, there were hardly any Instagram pages dedicated to just alcohol. So I'm a person who used to love drinking, and I'm obsessed with pretty cocktails, and also what ingredients go in it. I was very inquisitive all about this before even starting TCS. And from that I started researching, going to bars, visiting bartenders, starting to get into the industry, understand that what's happening. And at that point, what we see right now in the alcohol bev industry, it was nothing like that. So the cocktail story in a way became a platform and a community where I was trying to build together bartenders, Indian bartenders, and people like me who wanted to know more and more about the alcohol bev space, to know about mixology, to know what is the best to have at home. So yeah, it just started, and then I realized that we have so many foreign pages that talk about their ingredients specific that are suitable for their palate, their drinks. So I realized there's nothing that goes with with the Indian people. What an Indian person would like with such a weather in Goa, in Delhi, in Bangalore. So I realized that was missing. So we started building on these recipes. We started building on the content that people like me would like. So I started working on my own. The journey was pretty much very difficult in the beginning. I used to visit say about 5-6 bars in a day. And then I also went to different cities all alone, just with bartenders, without even knowing them properly, and just going bar hopping. So I covered cities like Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, so many places, Kolkata, so many cities like this, just to understand their respective bar culture, cocktail culture, and to meet the bartenders and bar industry of those specific places. We are also planning to launch our own e-commerce space. So the cocktail story, of course, is a digital platform where you get to know all the trends, how to, what to, when to drink. But now we are also coming up with the platform, an e-commerce website from where you can buy all the possible things to have a great party at home, to make the perfect cocktails at home, right from your garnishes, glassware, barware, to mixers, even ice, and whatnot. So we are planning a perfect for our community. We are planning and creating this sort of website where you can get everything right from, as I mentioned, all the possible ingredients to perfect your cocktail and party at home.
Very interesting, Vidhi. But I'm sure that the journey must have had a lot of challenges, right? I mean, you're not allowed to, like for most alco bev players, they aren't allowed to advertise, right? So how do you be out there?
Absolutely.
And secondly, I think you already mentioned, right, traveling everywhere, understanding cultures. So talk to us a little bit about the challenges, right, that you faced when you kind of started in this space.
With the Indian alcobev space, there were already so many people from the trade. Because I'm not from hospitality, I'm from a very different background. I'm a literature student and I did my master's in gender studies, imagine. So I came from absolute no background. So it was a little difficult for senior people to maybe adjust. And of course, no matter what we say, I'm not saying that we get discriminated women as women, but there is some sort of unconscious discrimination or unconscious I won't say jealousy, but there's some sort of this thing about it that they just sideline, they try to do it. So I have also faced that multiple times, but then I've never given up. I've always tried to again bounce back with something crazy or big to shut everyone up. So yeah, and of course with the challenges again, for a woman to travel to bars and with random people at night, even my family took time to understand what I was doing. It took me 1 year to settle in the industry, tell my parents, tell the entire world what's happening. I'm not just a drunkard who's just going here and there. I want to create something out of this. This was my passion and I want to do something out of it. So it took some time.
I'm constantly telling all the women who are building businesses that please talk about what you do, because how is the world going to know, And more than often, I feel, women say, oh, let us achieve something and we'll talk about it. I'm like, no, when you achieve something and you talk, they probably don't know you in the first place, right? So you've got to start the minute that you speak. So Vidhi, thank you so much for, bringing that out. What is your view on the future of the alcobev industry? And, how is the TCS model actually leveraging and creating this as a formal space for bartenders, for brands? Talk to us a little bit about that.
So as we all know that advertising is not allowed for alcohol brands, especially in India. So the Cocktail Story became sort of a third party platform for them to showcase their products, their launches, and their how, what, when sort of questions about the liquor brand and the availability, new launches, new variants, everything. So now we are not just an informative platform, we are also creating content for these brands according to what their consumers, their customers would like, because we sort of have all the analysis or data, and because we've been building this community for a long period of time and we've been focusing on gathering and making a community of these people who have similar mindsets, similar tastes. So yeah, so in a way it's really beneficial for these brands to get to their target audience right away. We're trying to break that in a way so it helps the brand, it helps the consumers, and in a way it helps us also.
The idea that started off just to put a community out there is now actually become that ecosystem, for everyone in the alcobev space. And Vidhi, I couldn't be, prouder of you. It's really cool.
Thank you.
So just from their point of view and understanding the industry, what role do you think banks can play to actually support the growth of this space?
I think banks should now focus in it's particularly this alcobev sector, because a lot of these brands, a lot of these people, the young generation, they want to start something in the alcobev space. So there's a lot of demand in the market, and of course there's a shortage of capital because there's a huge investment. So I feel if something could be some sort of a program or something could be created to help these people out, it would be wonderful. Our industry is such a chilled out and sort of the vibe is so different. If any bank could match it, or if any bank could launch certain program or get to certain people in the industry who could resonate or who could put it out loud for them, I think that would be really good. They need to set some great examples out there.
No, absolutely, because every banker's go-to after work is a bar. So only obvious that they now start making it their day job too. I generally ask people their mantra on business, but from you, I'm going to twist it a bit and say, what's your mantra when you are trying to make a perfect cocktail?
Well, you have to be psycho about what you do. Like, you have to be obsessive about your brand. Like, people are obsessive in love. I feel that's shitty. Like, do that in your career. I have always been psycho about what is going on TCS for each and every piece of content that goes on the cocktail story. We take a lot of time to develop that sort of strategy, to develop that sort of content. There are some quizzes that we do on TCS which are extremely popular. I get so many calls and people are like, we love it. Like how do you guys do it every week? So I just feel like, people more than anything, people are absorbing that different content which was never there in India. And to produce and create that content in just one niche. It's just cocktails and like different spirits and everything that we're talking about. It's difficult to do it, but trust me, you have to be psycho about it to do it.
I think the way that you need to be psycho about your business, I think you need to be psycho about perfecting your cocktails. So I hope we can get to that, or we can just log on to TCS and just get to know how to do it.
For sure.
Thanks so much, for tuning in, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.